Hi, my name is Laura Daniela Rivera Granados, and I will talk about the enzymes, the balance of life. To get started, the metabolic disorders can be defined as simple errors of metabolism, encompassing deficiencies in enzymes involved in the metabolism of carbohydrates, amino acids derived from proteins, and fatty acids liberated from lipids. The metabolic disorder that I will explain in a few minutes is related to the enzyme glucosylceramide, also known as glucocerebrosidase, aka GCase. The numerical classification scheme is shown on the title, as well as we can see the description on the scroll below. As I mentioned before, the GCase is related to Gaucher disease, which is a rare inherited condition characterized by insufficient level of the enzyme glucosylcerebrosidase. It results from a lipid metabolism disorder. Glucocerebroside is a glycolipid that contains both sugar and fat. Once glucocerebroside is made, it becomes part of various cells, and when these cells become old or damaged, are often eaten by immune cells called macrophages. Macrophages contain lysosomes, which are organelles that act as cell digestive centers. Inside lysosomes, large potential harmful substances are broken down to be either discharged or reused by the body. Glucocerebrosidase is broken down by the enzyme glucocerebrosidase. In Gaucher disease, the gene GBA has a mutation that leads to a reduction of the level of the enzyme. Hence, GCase can be broken down and it accumulates inside lysosomes and macrophages. These cells are called Gaucher cells, and they accumulate in multiple organs and tissues like bone marrow, liver, and spleen. Moving on to the kinetic characteristics, at an optimum pH of 5.1, the enzyme GCase has a value of Km of 12.6 millimolar and a Vmax of 333. The glucocerebrosidase can be inhibited by two different compounds. For the inhibition, we use PMPG as a substrate and delta gluconolactone and glucose as inhibitors. As we can see in the graph, the glucose inhibits the GCase in an uncompetitive manner with a Ka of 1.94 millimolar. On the other hand, we have the gluconolactone inhibition, where it successfully inhibits the GCase in a competitive manner with a Ka value of 0.023 millimolar. The treatment mostly used in Gaucher disease is miglustat, a class of medication called enzyme inhibitor. It is a pill that patients take, but the disadvantage is that it has secondary effects such as weight loss and diarrhea. The most convenient therapy is a biotherapeutic product that can target and inhibit the enzyme specifically without reacting with other compounds. An example is the enzyme replacement therapy. The process to obtain the byproduct consists of the following steps. First is the isolation of leukocytes, which consists of centrifugations, then the extraction of GCase from a leukocyte pellet, and finally the determination of GCase activity with a spectrophotometer. With the absorbance, we can find the amount of enzyme required to release the substrate, and we can add the required quantity of the inhibitor. When developing a byproduct, it is important to think of the implications on the dimensions of sustainable development. Regarding to the economic dimensions, we have to think on the cost and large investments, and that innovation is determined by economic potential. Most of the times, only the rich countries and more developed are the ones that really can develop these kind of products. Then we have the social dimension, the equity and inclusion of disadvantaged groups. When we think of all the people, most of them don't have the resources to buy these products because most of the time because they are new, they are so expensive that they can acquire them. Then we have the ecologic dimension, that is the regulation of modern biological process, the development of environmentally friendly processes, and to create a circular economy. But nowadays, biotechnology is one of the most important disciplines for its implications in health and medicine. As future engineers, we have to seek for new processes to improve the quality of life and always innovating in the creation for medicines and treatments. The biotherapeutic products are a new way to treat those diseases that were considered to be incurable, and more important, that they are a better alternative because of its effectiveness and security, as well as in the reduction of side effects compared to the traditional drugs. Although some of them are expensive and not available for everyone, over the time and with the expedition of the patients, they will be cheaper and they will be available to everyone. Thank you.